Hey, what's good, homie? Jay in the building.
What's up, dude? How you been, man?
Good, good, bro. How about you, bro?
Good, man. Just adjusting to this baby life over here.
I know, man. That's amazing, bro. Bro, I actually forgot to ask you, is it a baby boy or baby girl? I don't think
Boy.
you told me. That's great, man.
Yeah.
Gonna be one of the top traders, is he? In
Hell
10
yeah,
years?
man. I got him sitting with me, uh, watching what I do, man. He's already watching your webinar videos and everything.
That's amazing, dude. How you guys doing today?
You're famous amongst the kids, man.
I know, man. You
Because
gotta start young, right? You gotta start them young. That's it.
all the fathers are always watching this, and then even my kids are like, "Is that Wall Street King?" I was like, "Yeah, that is."
That's funny, man. How's your Labor Day weekend going, guys? Long weekend, we have extra day. Guess what? Weekend's gonna get boring now. Guess what? Monday is gonna be like the day where we're gonna be itching to go back. You know?
Kind of stressing about what Tuesday is going to present.
Why?
I don't know. Another bloodbath or
Oh,
some
okay. You guys are
recovery?
scared about the sell-off? Guys, I promise you, this is just not promise you. I mean, you can't promise anything. But honestly, I'll tell you one thing, man. All it is guess what? Weekends. They're trying to get every weekend out. That's it. Simple as that. I mean, unless I'm crazy. And, but just to show you guys something, though, very, very cool. From what I remember in the past, let's do the weekend. Let's do, just to show you guys something, which is kind of scary, not going to lie. Right? This really is pretty, sketchy and scary, being honest. Look at this thing. Hits the high, boom. So V-shaped recovery, hits the highs, boom. But the problem is this happened over years where, this happened in literally, look, in the span of couple of months. So, don't know, man. But look, guys, I mean, either way, look, weekends, man. That's it. Right? V-shaped recovery in December in 2 years ago. Simple as that, man. Look, recovery up to the highs, boom, drop, weekends out. Guess what? Another rip, and then another weekends out, and then boom, simple ride all the way up to 340s. So they do that all the time, man. It's just they're trying to take out weekends. Simple as that. What do you guys? How many of you guys agree with me, or think I'm crazy, or because this is a very, very bullish pattern? Being honest with you, right now, as of right now, we might see more sell-off. It's not, definitely we could definitely see a sell-off down to the 330s or even lower. But the problem is it's just gonna bounce and then it's just gonna literally, it's a very, very bullish pattern where it's just gonna continue higher, guys. Honestly, it's like almost certain. The reason I'm saying that is simply because of the very, very similar patterns we had in Apple. If we, the problem is I don't want to, because I got like, a couple of screens open and I got Apple and all of that. I don't want to make this, a slow experience, but there was one day where, I wanted to show you guys this exact daily pattern that's happening on SPY playing out in Apple here on this day, where it just literally pulled back and then it just ended up ripping, man, from, 108s all the way up to, I mean, it was like I don't even know what it was, man. It was like 380s to all the way up to like 412, 422s, something like that. But agree, but not bothered about it. Long-term options, long position, September. You have it for September. Still a little bit sketch, man. Being honest with you, the problem is, guess what the Feds are saying now? They're saying Trump was right all along. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? And you guys probably understand the bullshit that the world is, right? They'll lie to your face, man. They'll lie straight to your fucking face. Remember when Fed was saying that, guess what? It was a economic collapse, right? And it's going to take us a, long and steady recovery. And now feds are saying, guess what, man? It's a V-shaped recovery. Damn. Bro, they'll lie straight to your face, man. Nobody cares about you as an individual. All they care about is their job, man, at the end of the day. So if it takes a lie, some of you guys probably believe in them. It's all good. I don't care. Term holders don't like market drop. Day order, it doesn't matter. The market rips and drop. Yeah, for us, it doesn't really matter, honestly. Dude, I'm being honest, though, Friday would have been an amazing day, man. Guys, oh my God, dude, I'm so annoyed right now. Actually am. Damn it. I was supposed to save SPX puts, guys, honestly, for Friday. Holy shit. And I didn't. We were going to go over those. Who has them, honestly? And you guys have them? Some of you guys, is there a way, guys, any website or somewhere where we can kind of view these puts from Friday? Because, watch, man, there were probably ones. One second, guys. I'm getting a text from my. This is a quick. Okay, got you. It's just an email. My bad. What's up? All right. Does any of you guys have them? I don't think these ones did matter too much, honestly. Let's look at 3460 puts. 34, 40s, 60s. Yeah, these are last week's, guys. So these didn't have the insane type of move, but still, all right, let's look at them. Just to show you guys the things that we can do with options when people actually option official. Is it a chart though, Ivan, or is it just yeah, James, I got your message, bro. Yeah, bro, we'll definitely do it. But guys, look at these, man. Look, from $30 to $110, man. Have you guys seen moves like this? Tell me right now. The problem is this is a penny stock technically ripping up from $30 to $110, guys. You guys understand that, right? Right? This is legit the same thing as buying a penny stock that's on a rip. Guys, like, hopefully you guys understand that. And this is a credible SPX, right? This is not going anywhere. This doesn't have a shelf. This doesn't have a position where, of course, it's an option. It's a little bit more risky where if you do end up chasing it at the 110 level and they end up dropping, literally, look, like 10 points in the span of a second because of, liquidity, which is another thing you have to understand. But other than that, guys, let's be real here, right? Stuff like this is insane to look at. Look. Thursday, Friday. Okay, so these things opened up at $15 here and one to $80. So that's a penny stock going from, guess what, $15 to $80 in a day. Simple as that. How many of you guys saw that? How many of penny stocks you guys saw make this move in the last month? 1, 2? I'll bet you that every stock has moves like this on, like, literally SPY probably did a moves like this on options, like maybe like more than, way more than any of the penny stocks. I'll bet you. That's why one of those things, right, guys? People, right, always tell me, right, like they love the fact that, how I have that strategy of the fact that I trade a couple of different stocks and I stick with them. The simple reason is because it's just a niche, right? It's like a niche that I have. Simple as that. Trading a niche is not, difficult in general. So if you just stick with that niche, just like people that are trading penny stocks, I don't condemn them or anything like that, man. They're amazing people that trade penny stock that make way, way more money than me, which is no problem at all, man. All it is just, I think for newer traders in general too, for you to, have this long time, long sustainable career, unless, you're like, I think you have a better chance of winning trading the regular market than being successful at a penny stock, honestly. Option, yeah. Yeah, not a chart, right? Yeah. I wanted to look at the chart, honestly, because I wanted to see what, these things went up to. But just to show you, let's look at some of these like $11 ones, man. These are 1 week out puts and calls, guys. So you have to understand that these things simply are literally 1 week out, meaning that these are supposed to move slow, right? Okay, wait a second. Active trader. Okay. Okay, so $8 to $50, but then they ended up going down, which is, anything in trading, right, guys? Always taking profit, which is fine. But the only problem is this, look, $7. So like a penny stock going from $7 all the way up to 56. And guys, you have to understand the fact that some of these, right, this is 1 week out options. So these had times of, guess what, another week. And these are 800% gain. Watch like the last week options were probably over 1,000% gain easy. Bro, I took so guys, the problem with me getting out of trading on Friday was simply because on Zoom it was kind of unexpected. Technically, like I should have traded, honestly. Like you guys even saw some of the call outs. Like when I stopped trading Zoom, it was here. The problem with Zoom that I had was the main issue that I had with Zoom was this, man. When I cut losses, I got filled really badly because I got filled on like the middle of this candle when I cut my losses here. So when I got filled, here in the lows, like I just didn't feel like, because it was too big of a loss, honestly, 27K. So, at that point, you have to make a decision as a trader. Do you want to keep on continuing and risk the fact that you can actually lose 100K? Or do you want to cut your losses and be done on the day for 27K? So didn't go with the revenge trade, even though if I would have made way more money looking back at it. But in hindsight, guys, everything is 2020, right? Isn't it? We get that 2020 vision as we look at the charts now, but in the fact that in the time, in the span of things, when actually, stuff is going on. And what were we talking about, guys? Everything, again, bounce too short, right? Simply. Why? Well, because of the market, right? We were looking at the market to either bounce first or sell off first. And then if it sells off first, then bounce, right? Guys, tell me if we didn't talk about it. Like, if you guys want, I'll upload the recording of the pre-market live too. Hopefully you guys understand it's kind of annoying kind of converting videos from Zoom and then kind of uploading them, and it takes a lot of time. That's why I don't do it every day, but it's like, that's why pre-market live is so kind of, informational in the fact that we already knew what market was going to do. And the problem is, guys, I hate doing this, as much as it sucks for me to do this right now, but I'm going to do it just because of the fact that, just so you guys can pay more attention into the chat. Simply why? Well, because you guys got to understand that, this is why you should be active in the chat in the morning. This is why you should ask questions. This is why you should, be a little bit more active. Simply because of this. Look, we already knew which way the market's gonna, even though the market seems strong, be careful with harsh drops on it. Simple as that. Why? How do we know it was going to do something stupid like this? Well, it's just a pattern, right? It happens, right? When the market sells off like insanely like there, and we were watching this daily chart, what did I say, guys? The market would jump up to, guess what? Around this price, right? 34.80s. Did we not say that? But then, because we were looking at SPY, we were saying 48s, right? Look, it got to the 48 level, and I'll upload the pre-market live, guys. And we literally said, this is exactly what we said. And then we said it was going to sell off. Why? Well, it's a very, very bullish pattern in the long term, but it's a very, very bearish pattern in the fact where, what do we say? Elevator down, stair stepping up. So, one of those big things is that simply. So we were, kind of expecting this, but not to this harsh of a, mental thing where honestly, if I actually knew this was going on, guys, honestly, I would have freaking been 500K richer, honestly. But, should have, could have, would have, SPX, nice puts could have been easy, trade at, 3460s and then, under the EMA and then just a sell off all the way down to the 3350s, man. And, these, as you guys can see, 1,000% return, meaning 100K invested, $1 million trade. And we never hold till, guess what? The whole thing, as soon as I would have hit like 400K, I would have been out and I would have been done on the day. But, at the end of the day, guys, right? What are you going to do, right? You miss some, you win some, and you lose some. Simple as that. And, for me personally, I thought it was a better mental, situation for me to cut my losses and walk away on the day, even though another thing that we called was the Roku trade, right? Roku to hold below here, right? 6460s, right, guys? Go look at the same thing. Pay attention to the chat. Why did we say that? Why was that alert given here? Well, because look what it's doing. It's staying above, that's what, below the 200 and the 50 EMA, so 6460s, right? Just to show you guys, right? It's just the real time that you have to pay attention to, right? Simple as that, right? You don't have to pay attention to, look, 6450s, right? 942. Look what it was doing at 942, guys, right? Look. 942, it was actually selling off big time, but technically, 941 was when I would have entered the trade, which would have been here, simply right there, or 40s. But, that was a little bit later, but still, even getting in on Roku here wouldn't have been a bad idea because look, in hindsight now you can see that it's selling off and, forming bear flags and all of that stuff. But the reason you should be active in the chat is because you get to learn a lot of things, right, in time. And that's why you guys should go back and review the chat as well every day. And why did he say, short Roku under 6460s? Well, 200 EMA and the 50 EMA is there. And guess what? We're getting, selling pressure to kind of come back in. And all it was, guess what? The market helped and simply, boom, right back down. All right. And that's a very, very bearish pattern too as well that we talk about where, guess what? It makes a higher low where it opens up higher and then goes to the low. Where is it? Right here. It opens up higher in the pre-market and then it goes down and then it rips up and then it breaks the highs in pre-market and then sells off. And guess what? The market open. So usually, that basically means bearish, where if the, it pulls back down and it goes up toward the, I would say 70% retracement mark, comes back down, then sports and then rips, then it's a very, very bullish pattern. Some of those things you would understand, as you kind of learn trading a little bit more. Yeah, so that's what I.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Hey, Walter, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
So something I noticed on Friday, which I found very interesting. If you look at, I was comparing 9 different companies, including SPX, all the regular companies we look at, and if you see the trend, exactly at 10:40 a.m. every single one of them hit the lows and turned back, like literally exactly. And I thought it was so ironic that it was all so symmetrical. What are your thoughts on that? Is that algos? Is that like?
Yeah, bro, that's the same thing why everything sold off yesterday, right? It's not the algos. It's mainly because, you can say it is the algos at the same time, but mostly it's just the market, man. When the market loses a floor like this, we talked again, man. I don't know if you were in the pre-market live, bro. We talked about this, right? When the market loses a floor like this, right? It loses a floor. It basically means it goes into everything starts selling, right? Look, guys, what do we talk about? BA is strong usually when tech sells off, but look, BA ended up selling off as well. Why did BA end up selling off? Well, simply because, guess what? The market's losing its floor. There's a panic all around. Right? Simply, if there's panic all around, everything's going to follow the market. Simple as that. These companies have very, very big, ties with the market. If the U.S. stock market crashes, then it basically means all of these companies are going to shit. Why? Well, because guess what? If the market crashes, that basically means there's some, uncertainty in business, meaning that, people don't want to spend money. People don't want to kind of spend, money toward anything. So if people don't want to spend money, then BA is affected. Why? Well, guess what? People aren't going to be traveling too much. That basically kind of leads to the fact that nobody's going to buy airplanes from BA, right? and then, ETC and stuff like that. Guess what? If people are losing money, then it means that military is probably going to be spending less money, which is going to affect BA again. So, stuff like that. When the market loses the floor like that, everything has to follow it simply, right? Because guess what? It's just investors are looking at it. They're like, okay, everything's selling off. Okay, just sell, 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 sell. And then also, it is the algos too, right? Once you kind of get that floor break, and algos, what do we always say, right? Same thing as ripping, right? Apple, when it was having those up moves, right? Why was Apple kind of just keep on ripping up, right? Once these algos catch people like this right here, just to show you an example. Come on. When they catch somebody like this right here, they'll keep on ripping it up, and they won't stop until, guess what? Every single cent of yours is taken like this. It's just algos kind of, keep on moving the stock up at this point, right? So same thing to the downside. It's just, once you get that, floor break of the market or just an insane amount of rip, everything just rips up. But, this would have been the nice trade where you would have been able to see that little cup handle and then a rip up. But, it's not able to break the highs. So that means it never worked out. So right now, it seems like it's a little bit bearish right now, you know what I mean? But still, we're probably going to see a little pop and then, another drop here in the market. And then, we'll see a little bit of continuation to the upside, over time and, the next couple of weeks. But this is it, man. Once the market gets above these trend line, guys, honestly, just buy. There's literally no point of you not to buy. Honestly, draw these trend lines out. If these trend lines stay like this, just buy above here, honestly. If the price gets above it and holds, dude, this thing's going to rip up above 3,600, 3,700, 3,800, 40, even 4,000 it can go, right, easily. Just because, they've gotten these people trapped. But, as long as it stays below it, we're not going to touch it. It doesn't matter if it takes a year, if it takes a month, right? It's just the same thing. Risk management in trades, right? Because I'm not saying that this will go up, because there's nothing that says that, market will go up, or, I know the market will go up. If I just knew that, then I honestly wouldn't even be, kind of telling you guys this, because I'd be honestly just, all in the market, knowing that, the market will 100% go up. But honestly, the market can sell off all the way down toward, 3,200s, but that's just, they're trying to take the weekends out, and then we'll see a reversal, trap people to the downside, to the shorts, right? And then rip it up. And then if it doesn't want to do that, it stays below 3,400, then we have nothing to worry about because we're not long, right? Alux, what'd you notice, brother? Stop trading it. Oh, me, I stopped trading. I mean, Jay also, bro. Hopefully, that kind of answered your question. I stopped trading as soon as I took that Zoom loss. The Zoom loss was a little bit bigger than what I expected, which was supposed to be like 20K or 15K. If it was that way, I would have shorted Roku and I would have shorted the market. But I just, kind of didn't want to risk another, 50K. Kind of trying to, because it was a good week. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't going to ruin it for the 3-day week, right? Same thing. Guys, that's the discipline that kind of, on the earlier chart when everything starts going down at the same time. Oh, yeah. So it's just, yeah, bro. It's just, algos. Like, why do you think, look here, right? When SPX was selling off, just to show you guys, look, what was BA doing at that point? Right? If we look at every stock, guys, doesn't matter, right? What it was. Look, February 27, literally, that's when it started off, right? Look, 25, 26. So it's look, the market started off selling a little bit earlier, but look, BA, sell off. Apple, look, sell off. I know the Apple's ripped after that, but still, look, Apple in the initial sell off. Why? Well, because algos were kind of, going back in. And look at this bounce on the market and look at the bounce on Apple. It's so similar. Why? Well, because guess what? Apple follows the market as well, right? If the U.S. economy goes to shit, then Apple goes to shit, right? Same thing as MSFT, right? Same thing, guys. Even though tech ripped up after that, that's after the fact. But when you get that, floor break on the market, when they start seeing the elevator go down in the market, everybody sells, right? Panics. And the same thing as people start buying too in the market, right? A lot of you guys that, you know, started trading were basically buying calls and buying, you know, stuff simply toward the 2300s, right? Why? Well, because the market was selling off simply, right? So, you know, stuff like that. But, you know, same thing as, you know, anything else. Even Roku was affected. The smallest stock that, you know, it was, doesn't matter. Look, even this was affected, right? Look, February, right? So sell off, right? Same thing, man. Everything was affected. Um, you know, Tesla, you know, as much as, you know, Tesla ripped up, but look, Tesla was affected as well. Same thing, man. Everything was affected. You know, if the market loses its value, then everything loses its value, honestly. You know, nothing stopping the market from losing its value, then there's nothing stopping all of these stocks from losing its value. Yeah, bro, the option screen thing, bro, we've discussed that even in the last webinar. If you want to go and check that out, you can do that, bro. The only problem is it's just like going over it again and again. It gets a little bit too repetitive. And the problem is it's just so simple. And the problem is a lot of you guys are focused on options where we should more be focused on charts. The reason for that is simply because if you know which way the stock is going, all you have to do is buy a call and buy a put, right? And it doesn't matter if you do it from here or you do it from the active trader, simply like this, just to show you an example, right? Very quickly, because we covered this many times in the webinar. If you want, actually, you know, you can go to the last webinar that has a very good example. You can buy the calls or the puts that you want from here. All you have to do is create a screen like this, right? Like, look, see, it says it right here, right? So you load up your puts and calls, right? Let's say if I want to use this as, you know, a put option or call option or, you know, whatever. Let's see, let me load it here a second. All right, see, it tells you right here, right, what the call contract is and what that is. You don't have to have the chart there. All you have to have is, guess what, the buy, right, and the sell and the quantity and auto send on and off. And all you have to do is kind of change the quantity here. If you want to kind of quickly get into the market, look, it'll put your order out in the market. And here you can see the, you know, order window. But simply all it is using the active trader, right, to kind of execute trades. Guys, how many of you guys are kind of excited for battery day for Tesla? How many of you guys think it's going to actually rip? Yeesh. What was that? Yeah, bro. I mean, if you want, you know, you can send me a message and we'll kind of a little bit go, you know, kind of explain it a little bit more detail to you, you know, if you want. But bro, I promise you, it's not really even hard. Because the problem is, you guys are kind of I understand the fact that you want to kind of trade how I trade exactly. The only problem is if you don't have the knowledge of the chart, you won't be able to trade like me. Why? Well, because you won't have the best entries, right? The problem is you want to get into the best entries possible. Doesn't matter if you're trading it with stocks or, you know, you're trading it with options, right? All it is, you know, options we can learn, right, afterward. All it is getting the best entry and then, you know, finding the right exit. If you're able to do that and then, you know, you're able to kind of, yeah, of course, you know, later on, if you're kind of able to build them together with options, man, you know, you can see those 100K days easy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's just like, it's insane to kind of just say that, but it is easy at the end of the day once you learn it. If you're new, you're gonna get smacked. I'm sorry. If you try to go with options and you don't have the self-control of kind of, you know, taking one trade and realizing that it's not your day and walking away, you will literally lose everything you have if you try to go with options. That's why options are so dangerous. One thing changed my view on buying and selling market makes the orders so much faster. You mean the market makers? They make the orders way faster? 100%. Oh, you mean, I mean, marketing orders makes it so much faster? Yeah, which is a good thing and a bad thing, right? At the end of the day, Jay, right? Simply because you want to be able to put your orders out here on the bid too, and then if they don't work, then you want to use your hotkeys to cancel, right? if they don't get filled, and then just control like whatever your buy hotkeys, then boom, 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 right? But that comes in later though. That doesn't come in first. First, you should be on a, just only focusing on 3 trades, right? Taking those 3 trades are very, very simple in the fact that if you're just gonna buy a put on the day, that's it. Simple as that. You can do that from with a mouse too. You don't have to use hotkeys. When you're looking at 5 different stocks and you want to be really quick with it, then you want to be able to use hotkeys, right? But in the learning process, guys, don't lose everything you have, because you're going to need that money to make more money. Simple as that. If you lose all of that, then it's not going to be. Sure, I wanted to have another. Yeah, but honestly, Shashikant, bro, the thing is, right? The problem is, I don't think you need the options chart, right? Being honest with you, right? I don't think you need the options chart. Just need the options active trader. And that's just, being honest, I don't even think you need that, right? Honestly, all you need is the price action of charts. Simple as that. Because the chart for options is the same as, like if it's a put, it's going to be this chart for Tesla, right? Negative Tesla. It's going to be an inverse. It's going to look something like this. If it was a put, it's going to look very similar to this. Just to show you an example, we're going to show you the SPX puts. All right, just to show you, look what the SPX chart, like negative chart of SPX looks like. Right, look. So look, Friday open, sell off, right? Hold, rip, look, rip. See, this is exactly the option chart, right? You see that little forming, right? Yeah, very similar, right?
Yeah,
What's up?
my bad. I didn't mean options chart, and I was saying the options price. So on the one computer,
Yeah.
the charts for the trades that I want to take, and the other one, I just want to have the options, the price, the calls, and the puts, so that I can take which one I want to do based on the charts.
Or you can also do that by clicking this. I don't know if you know how to do that. Detach. You can detach the options so you can have it on another screen where you don't have to have it on the same screen as your charts. So oh my god, dude, it disappeared. Now I'm gonna have to. Okay, we're gonna have to bring this to here, and then I'm gonna have to put this back, and then I'm gonna have to do this, and then you can honestly add these options the same way you do here. And then choosing the options, right? Some of you guys asked me about choosing the options. Guys, the problem is I'm a day trader and I've been trading for a long time. I'm looking for quick in and outs, right? Simple as that, right? My trades are like 5 to 10 minutes, simple, right? I'm not a holder of 30 minutes, right? Sometimes when you see crazy weakness, then you'll hold the stock for longer, right? As you know, usually when it's, selling, I don't hold for too long. Where for longing, I hold for a little bit longer. Why? What do we say, right? Stair steps up, shorting is elevator down, right? Just like Tesla. Look at the Tesla chart right here, right? Look, stair stepping up, boom, elevator down. So stuff like that also means a lot. But because I'm only in the trade for 10 minutes or something, I buy very, very near the money, right? Right now, these contracts aren't insanely, expensive, but still there's the issue of the fact that, let's say, when the Tesla price was at, at the open, let's say it was at, 420, and let's say you bought a call. Let's look at the call for Tesla, just to show you guys what I mean by that is. And guys, this is this next week's options. So, the reason they're not crazy more, like they should be way, way more volatile, right? So look, so the 420 calls right now, they're not in the money, but at that point, right? Look, right? So you ended up buying these calls at $30. The problem is Look, if it drops 10 points like this in the next 10 minutes and you don't know how to cut losses properly, literally you won contract, you just lost $1,000 right there. It's gone, right? And guess what? In literally the next 30 minutes, because you didn't cut losses, you lost almost all of its value, right? You lost almost 100% of its value. Technically, that's another $2,000. And let's say, you don't know what you're doing and you end up buying 5 of those. That's $5,000, that's $10,000, and that's your whole account blown if you have a small account, right? That's why you don't want to trade those options. So somebody that's a little bit more beginner, you want to look at, something that's a little bit more out of the money. So technically, in the morning, you should have been buying, maybe, for 20 calls or for, maybe like for 40 calls. Let's look at the price action for those. 440 calls, where is that? Right here. All right. Just want to show you guys an example. Look, the same chart, guys, the same way. The only thing is now you just lose. If you bought it up here, now you only lose, guess what? $1,000, right? Rather than losing $2,000 on those, right? At 10:30, right? So if you hold till 10:30, you lose like $1,200. So all it is you're just risk management. Like technically, if you want to do it, even be more safer, than you would buy these ones at, $450, a little bit more even away, right? Because look, they're gonna work just like the same way. It's just, because of the delta and because of the time and stuff like that, options are affected. So, something like this, if you would have bought it up here, so like $17, goes all the way back down toward, $10, and literally the next 10 minutes, you only lose like $500 with one contract. Of course, it's less reward, but man, the problem is everybody looks at the reward, but they don't look at the risk, man. That's what we should be looking at mainly. Risk management is the biggest key, right? It is less risk. I mean, it is less reward, but then you're risking less too. The problem is you can risk more whenever you're ready. The problem is doing it when you don't know what's going on. Then at the same time, right? Everybody thinks they know what they're doing. That's why they're trading, right? Because you're trading the real money because you have some sort of a, idea of what you're doing, and that's when shit goes haywire, because is what it is. Risk is better. Yes, brother. Less risk is a little bit better, right? I mean, in trading, of course, less risk is better, and then reward is better also. Yeah, everything sold off. Look, and then look, it's reversed. Guys, at 2, I'm gonna be out today. I actually have some stuff I got going on, but you guys got questions, I'm here till 2. Less risk is better, less reward also, right? Yeah. What's your average profit percentage, bro? Anywhere from like 30% to like 50%, I would say will be average. But you can say a little bit more because of the fact that I trade options. Simply, that's the only reason. If it was actual stocks, maybe like 3-4%, max, or even 5%. So see, it's just like that thing, guys, right? Glass half full, glass half empty type of situation. All it is I'm able to leverage more money with options because I know what I'm doing. If somebody tries to do that same thing with you know, when they don't know what they're doing, they'll probably end up losing a lot more, right? Same, you know, a couple of things like that. Laws based on percent loss or based on charts. Charts. Everything is based off charts for me, man. Like in trading, like I promise you, you literally anybody that has ever asked me a question about trading in the first place, I promise you, I've never said, bro, go, you know, look at the percent, you know, cut your losses at this percent. I always said, dude, learn charts and you're good. And then, you know, learn the strategies, right? You got, of course, there's different type of strategies you got, right? With charts too, swing, long term, quick scalping, stuff like that. Really, I was attempting to do scalping and try to make all of that money back on Friday, but honestly, I really didn't want a 100K losing day, which wouldn't have happened in hindsight, but at that point, that was in my head, right? The problem is, of course, you know, being the person that's kind of, you know, in the group, who's kind of, who's basically kind of, you know, the thing is, like, that would have been a bad example that I would have set if I would have just kept trading and ended up taking a bigger loss. Simple as that. Didn't want to do, you know, be a bad example. Simple as that. Can you go back to Zoom trade? How do you came up with the 410 sport? Tuesday. Okay, so this is Monday. This is Tuesday. 410 sport. Oh, you mean this one? That's funny, right? Isn't it? This one. Why were we looking at 410? Simply because look, the highs of last day's pre-market highs, and then of course you got the rejection, you know, here, and then, you know, kind of a support. So basically, that's the main reason we were looking at it. A little bit more of a congestion, you know, zone. Simple reason was also, you know, in general, right? Whole numbers are, you know, looked upon in the stock market. And then another thing was, right, there was nothing that was saying that it wasn't going to sell off more toward the 200 EMA. The only reason 410 was a big number was because guess what? If they would have drove it down to 400, then they probably would have broke to the downside. So what do we always talk about, right? Usually they stop it before they even hit the target. So the target for a lot of people, probably, you know, the newbies, were 400. So they didn't want to pay him. Simply, guess what? They wanted to reverse it at 410. All right. So, yeah. And the thing is, you kind of learn the behavior of stocks too, right? Trading the strategy that I was at the same time, there were certain, I don't know what it was, but, you know, there were some, you know, lines that were kind of telling me also. I forgot which they were, being honest with you. Looking back at it now, I think it was in like pre-market we discovered that 410 mark. But, you know, it's just like the same thing as, you know, trading one strategy, guys. Simple as that, right? In trading, it's all a lot, because like right now we have access to everything, right? We have access to YouTube, we have access to internet, right? We look at other people trade, right? Some people look at me trade and they think options are the way. Still not gonna make it easier, right? Some people look at other people trading stocks making hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? The penny stock world. Still not gonna make trading easier. The problem is you're gonna have to put in work the same amount that you would put into stocks, into option side of it, into the penny stock world of it, to be successful. But it's just because we have access to so many different platforms where you just go and bounce around and you're like, I want to learn from this guy, I want to learn from that guy, I want to learn this, I want to learn that. That's when you get messed up. That's when, you know, the years get added. If you stick with one strategy, right, dude, at a point, trading is just numbers. Let's say you pick the worst freaking strategy in the world and you lose every time. Even if you do that for a year, you'll understand the fact that everything you do is wrong. All you have to do is reverse the strategy, and guess what? You have a 100% winning strategy. Am I right or am I wrong? Right? So big thing is that stick with one thing, guys. Simple as that. Find myself entering trades a little too late. Is your entry signal strict on the trend? Bro, both experience, trend, candle trend, also trend lines, you know, a lot of this stuff. like a year chart for trade. No, I don't. Once I'm looking at a 5 minute and 1 minute chart, I don't fucking care where the stock goes. Usually in the pre-market is when we kind of already have prices set, right? Like if Roku is gonna push, it's gonna push toward here, and that's where I'll take profit. Simple. And the problem is that's one of those things, right? I like remembering stuff. Even you guys know how I remember some, patterns that happened in the past simply because I trained my mind to do that. Guys, I promise you, I'm not special. I literally promise you, dude. I'm a kid that's average at studying and stuff like that. All it is just it's about being passionate about something and just memorizing it. Even in school, I was very very average. I've known people, some of my friends. He's gonna be a neurosurgeon soon. He's actually very very good at it, but the problem is he can't ever even kind of think about trading stocks like I do, simply because his mindset is toward learning. All it is just you got to be passionate about something. This kid was passionate about, becoming a doctor. Simple as that, right? And then, I have another friend that was, passionate about real estate. He's fucking amazing at that. Simple as that, guys. And also, one big thing, guys, surround yourself with people, right? Good people like that. Don't want to become something, right? I promise you, you can enjoy your life, later on. You know, uh, you want to kind of put in the work first and then enjoy your life later on, right? Doesn't matter, right? At the end of the day, it's your life choices. What you want to do with your life is fine. Uh, but just put in that work too, because nothing in this life is free. And guess what? You need money for that, and so you better start grinding, for that money. Simple, right? If you want money, then you're gonna have to grind. And the problem with this trade is, guys, look, we took a trade on Zoom to the downside and to the upside, and I got out here, right? 455s. Look where this thing ran up to 80. That would have been another like 200K on this stock. But what are we gonna do, right? Am I gonna cry about it? No, hell no. All right. The same thing as opportunities, guys. Being honest, right? If you get an opportunity in life to learn something, go for it 100%, because I promise you, you won't get those opportunities again. Same thing, guys. As much as, I know it's kind of annoying to me saying that about my group. There's so much to learn from this group, right? Now that the fact that it's still not big enough where, every single one of you guys are recognizable, right? If you guys put in that effort and work and we see you in there, of course, you have opportunities in the thing that's going to line up for you. In general, you're going to get better. The problem is a lot of you guys that are sitting in the back that aren't, doing it, guys, you're never going to get this opportunity back. The problem is if you want to show yourself in 2 years when this chat room has 100K people in it, the problem is at the end of the day, it's going to get too big at a point where, right, I'm not going to be able to recognize you. Nobody's, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who I freaking recognize or not. I'm nobody at the end of the day, right? The problem is, if you really want to be a part of a community and you want to actually take advantage of opportunities, right, be there. All you guys took time out of your Labor Day weekend to be here because you want to learn something, which is amazing, right? So that's just one thing, right? That's what I was kind of trying to elaborate in the chat room. I don't know if it came across right, but guys, opportunities don't come out. The problem is in the stock market we get opportunities every day, but in real life you don't. Some of you guys that are old timers, maybe somebody's in here, they can tell you right now. You don't get opportunities very often, and if you miss it, then you're gonna regret it, right? That's the same thing with learning, guys. Put in that time to learn. Money made is better than money lost. Yes. On this trade, yeah. Well, really is.
I meant on the context of like just following, for a few points and getting out, and then if it keeps ripping up, that hurts lesser than if you got the wrong direction.
I know. It really does. It's always good, man. It's always happy being profitable.
Hey, can I ask another question? Can you go over if you use that feature, the reverse feature, and how that works with maybe options?
Okay, yeah. Hell yeah,
So
man.
if you get on something and then you see that it's reversed, it going the other way, typically by the time you get out and by the time you go open the other one, it's, you know, you could, I don't know, lose a few
Problem is,
points.
I personally can't use the reverse feature. Why? Well, because I trade options, right?
So that's why I'm asking. The reverse feature does not work for options?
It does work for options if you want to kind of short options. Why would you short options? Because, you know, you'd get better results from buying a put, honestly.
That's why my assumption was that, you know, if you bought a call and you see that it's going in the other direction, I thought maybe it sells the call and buys a put instead.
For me, it's flat, like hotkeys, right? Look. If I press that, look, my hotkeys are active now. All I have to do is Control F, and then guess what? Click on the second screen, Control Z to buy. Simple. Puts. If I have, like, look, if I have a call and if I have a put here, right, guys, look, if I have a put here, right, just imagine this it is, right? Tesla call, Tesla put. I see the stock reversing now. Now I'm in this position. Let's say I have a position right there. All I have to do is, even if I don't use hotkeys, flatten, buy. Simple. Your quantity should be already loaded up, right?
What does the flatten do?
It basically kind of gets rid of your positions. Doesn't matter you're long or short. It's gonna market it.
Okay.
If you're long, it's gonna market the sell, and then if it's you're short, it's gonna market to buy. Like, because how I do it is sometimes, because I have, you know, I don't go in full contracts. I don't buy like 80 contracts just at the fucking, you know, 1 second and just dump it on the market. I do like 15, 20 at a time sometimes, right? Or even like 30 at a time. So what happens is, you know, I can't really just be like sell and take like 1 minute to sell, right? When stuff is going down and shit's going haywire, you gotta flatten it, right? Meaning it's gonna get rid of your whole position. If you have 80 contracts, it's gonna put those 80 contracts on the sell in the market. Simple as that. Does that make sense? No?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, you're confused, dude. Seriously, bro? It doesn't make sense.
No, it makes sense.
If it doesn't,
it totally makes sense. It's a matter of us getting used to it.
The problem is, if it's you, it's probably like there's hundreds of other people that don't probably understand. We don't have hundreds of people in here, but like still, you know, are you saying it's just a market order to get rid of your position? Flatten basically means
I get it. I'm just talking about like being quick about it.
Yeah, it's literally all of your position. Like, let's say if you have 100 contracts, it's gonna flatten those positions all on the market. You don't have to, like, all I have to do is be like 80 here, and it's the same thing as, you know, like, okay, the problem is this, right, guys? If I do, you know, 10 contracts 8 times, right, I can do that on the buy side sometimes. I have time to do that, right? Because, you know, I'm still setting up my position before the stock makes a run. When the stock makes a run, or if the market stock is reversing, I don't have the time to sell 10 contracts at a time if the stock is dumping like insane, right? For that, I can't be like sell. I can do 2 things. One, I can be like put an 80 here, sell, or I can just hit the flatten, which is gonna take all of the contracts that I have, right? All of my position, just put it on the market. Like if I have the calls, like if I bought the calls, then it's gonna sell those calls on the market price. If I am short calls, it's gonna buy the calls at market price. Does that make sense now?
100%.
It does.
100%.
Gotcha. Yeah, just want.
But will it gonna flatten Apple? And if you say you have a contract of Tesla and Apple, it's gonna flatten both of them?
No. It's just gonna flatten the one that you have on this active trader. Whichever stock you have connected on this active trader. Like here we have the Tesla weekly September 450 calls. It's only gonna flatten those ones. And then if you have the other contract on here, this side, then you're gonna have to hit flatten on that one too. Right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
But is there any different screen for active trader for option, and if you are trading a stock, it's an active trader different for stocks?
The only thing, the reason he was asking was this, like if we're looking on Roku, if you're trading shares and you're putting in, you know, guess what, 50K shares, right? Or 10K shares or 5,000 shares, right? With them, because you're in the market at let's say 159, the stock's selling off. All you have to do is hit reverse. Then it's gonna do is it's gonna sell your 5,000 shares right at the market price, and then it's gonna short another 5,000. So so with stocks, because you can short the stock on the same. The problem with options is you can get better return by buying a put rather than shorting a call. Sometimes. So that's why you would want to do that here rather than that on the calls or the puts. Yeah.
No, Manny, my question is that, is active trader for option screen is different than the stock screen?
No, it's same.
It's the same.
Yo, who's having
So-
fun annotating?
Okay.
No, go ahead, bro. What was that, man?
For stocks, it's
Same.
a different price. For options, it's a different price. So
Yeah.
to bring a option price, it's a different active trader screen, right?
Yeah, because look, just to show you an example, right? Why do I have the drawing tool? Okay, let me fix it. Here we go. So if you look at the option right here, the Tesla option contract, look, see the price is $14 here,
Yes.
right? For a stock, like we're looking at the Zoom, basically stock, look where the price is, right? It's showing the price of $390. So
Yeah,
it's
so that's
the
the
same
stock.
features, same everything. All it is just you're just using two different things. Like that's why I use it simply, guys, is because it's similar. It's the same thing. All right, you don't have to change up your trading to trade options too. Right, I'm a lazy guy, just like all of you guys. I promise. I like keeping stuff same. So when I switched from trading stocks, I switched like this, and it was so easy.
So so question is, how do you switch to active trader trading option?
Oh, you do that by here, man. If you go into all product, you send an option to a certain. There goes my alarm because I have to. Right there, just like that. There goes the chart for the options. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
You have to choose which one it goes to, right? So like, let's say if you send it to yellow, then you would click on yellow.
And then just a follow-up question. So in the morning, like after pre-market, when you take a few minutes to set up your screens, you kind of already have set up the particular strike price option you're going to go for.
Yeah, simply because all it is this, right? If the pre-market, the problem is, guys, pre-market, the stock's not going to move too much. Look how much it moved. Literally, if we were here, literally, look, from 164, it moved like 2 points. Doesn't matter, honestly. It doesn't matter. Usually, in pre-market, it won't move crazy. Like on a stock, when it's running up, when it has, earnings and stuff like that, then it makes sense of, changing it up. Other than that, it doesn't matter. You can already have it set up. Calls and puts and, for most of your stocks.
Manny, I realize on your screen there's a buy and a sell signal. Is that an indicator you use, or is that a bot?
It's just a strategy, man. It's a custom strategy.
Okay.
I promise you, it doesn't. The same thing, right? Like, as looking at it, it seems like it's too easy, but I promise you guys, the psychology is way, way harder to kind of, like, like the problem is, you guys are going to think I'm lying for saying this to you, but I promise you, this won't help you as a trader. You have to learn a whole strategy.
The buy sell thing doesn't help us? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Like alone. Like meaning like that. Like,
yeah.
Bro, can we look at your coffee time, bro? Bro, I would do that, but literally I gotta dip in about 8 minutes. But these things are, real time, just to show you an example if you want. Okay, look. Let's look at 9:30. Oh, okay, this is not even.
Manny, is that this strategy is a custom build strategy, or it's in Think and Swim?
It's not in Thinkorswim, bro.
Okay.
But my whole computer is slowing down. That's insane. It's because of Zoom recording and stuff like that. And guys, look, see, I'm getting alerts for different ones on my other screens too, like what's going on in other stocks. Is it like a, triggering or no? So that also helps, right? So, but the problem is, guys, one thing doesn't only help you, right? As you guys, if you guys think that, buy and sell signal is going to make you a millionaire, it's not. I promise you. Go buy that freaking, that there's like literally a kid that sells, literally like I don't even know, bro. He's on TikTok too, I believe, and he sells an indicator on TradingView, right? And he literally sells it, and it's like, I think it's like delayed, and a lot of people have complained about that to me. I was like, why are you bringing it to me? I told you that since one day ago. Literally, I told you guys that like literally in day one that things like that don't work. You guys are literally getting baited into buying stuff like that, but it is what it is, But guys, I promise you, this doesn't help. If you literally didn't have the nerve of clicking the button buying above 130, 113, and understanding that, this stock has the potential of ripping up to 150, 115.68, you wouldn't have bought. Simple as that, right? The buy and sell isn't going to do anything to you. And if you didn't take profit here, then you're going to have to understand, what you're risking and what your, plus sign is. And the problem is, look, it seems very strong right now. It's holding above it. Well, let's see, what it does here. But, the thing is, stuff like this works. But the problem is, it's a very, very hard and, explanation of, stuff like this is, let me explain this to you a little bit more in detail. What kind of stop this, right? This is good enough, right, guys? Because it's just probably going to play around the 200 EMA now, like Roku is, and then probably going to rip up. You guys can see what day it is, and you guys can see what the stock did. It's 9/37. It's May 4, 2020. So go watch this day if you want to know, what the stock ended up doing. I know it's kind of annoying doing it. What that Rahul, what that thing is delayed? That's so fucking funny, isn't it?
Yeah, Lux Algo. I tried that, and they send you a message like 2 hours later saying strong buy signal, and I'm like, well, that was 2 hours ago.
No, it's a fucking joke, man. It's a joke. Not calling it to be bad, man. It's all good. Let that guy do what he wants. You guys are gonna learn a lesson from it. That's it, honestly. That's the same thing as me telling you guys, right? It's just like, just like your kids, right? The problem is you can tell your kids, the fire is bad for you, man. Fire is bad for you. But the problem is they're never going to learn what fire actually is until they put their hand on it, right? Am I right or am I right?
Yeah, there's no easy lunches, bro. You got to learn this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The problem is, right, that's one of those things, right? What happens with the algos and stuff like that is, guys, the psychology comes in, right? The problem is this, right, guys? Let's say you short the stock here, right, on the sell signal. How do you know this is going to be this big of a move? You don't know, right? How do you know this move is only going to be this big, right? So what happens is in between, because you think you're smarter than the algo, because you start, kind of trying to be over smart, then you kind of short it here and then you take profit here. But then guess what? The stock sells off here more. But then on this one, you buy it here and then you don't sell. And then guess what? You end up taking a loss because you're kind of, holding to think that it's going to end up ripping all the way up to 180, just like how this sold off. Like, it's very hard to explain, guys. The only way of you experiencing it is once you experience it. Simple as that. These things don't do anything, man. If you don't have a control over your psychology, you're literally going to get toast. Simple. And, being and understanding and, stuff like this is very important. That's why I tell you guys, be smart. All right, guys, anything else?
Hey, quick question. Are you always playing on a shorter time frame?
Yeah, bro. 5 minute and 1 minute.
Gotcha.
Mainly looking at like 5 minute, guys. Honestly, 5 minutes might fucking.
And the option, you always only trade like the same week?
Same week, yeah.
Even on a Friday or a Thursday, you'll play the same week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I already know my risk management, right? For anybody that's new, then you need to play the next week, right? If you already know your risk and you know your, same thing as like Zoom. I ended up losing more than what I thought. And then guess what? I ended up quitting. That's never going to compare to the 180K win that I had literally Monday. So why does it matter, honestly?
So
You know,
how do you do your risk management? I mean, like, do you have any fixed method of doing it, or?
of course, there's a method, bro.
Mhm.
Method is just, learning the full strategy. And all it is, the risk management part is, the problem is, guys, let me tell you two things. The two things that are very easy in the stock market is learning the strategy and then also kind of understanding the strategy. The hardest part about trading is the psychology, being able to control your emotions, being able to, not hit that keyboard when you want to, the most, right? Make sense?
Preach.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm.
honestly, bro, that's one of those big things, right? It's about, excuse me, guys, 1 second. Yeah, being able to, not hit the keyboard when you, simple as that, when you want to the most. And if
Yeah.
you're able to do that, then you're a successful trader, honestly.
It's controlling your emotions.
Controlling your emotions and controlling and understanding, the same thing, right, guys? Problem is, everybody wants everything easy, right? Hence, you guys go buy those Lux Algo. Hence, none of you guys want to put in the time. I'm sorry for being mean, but none of you guys want to put in the time that literally go with that Lux Algo. Why? Well, because it seems easy. You can follow a computer. Well, if it was really that easy, honestly, think about it. If it really was that easy, wouldn't there be millionaires just walking around just like, you know what I mean? Wouldn't all of us be a millionaire? Honestly, you guys are spending an hour here with me. Wouldn't all you guys be a millionaire already? Honestly, tell me that. Wouldn't it be easy to go buy a $30 subscription of something? Tell me, please.
And why would you even sell if it's so good? You can make
Why
money
would
for
you
the
sell
effort.
it, right? For having the algos go against you. Exactly. Right? Simple fact, man. Simple fact.
Hey, Manny, right? It's Manny. Do you do commodities at all?
Nah, bro. I don't.
I've been looking at the US 30 to die pretty soon.
Yeah?
Once it hits 30K, I'm expecting it to just take a shit.
Short that, bro? Honestly, bro, just learn from it. Doesn't matter, right? Like the same thing we said, right, guys? If you understand something, just fucking go for it, honestly. Right? If you think of edging something, honestly, just stick with it. But the problem is, don't think that, there's a very, very, thin line in being the fact that, understanding that something is not for you. Like, how they say that there's like something that's meant for you? Like let's say if you want to be a basketball player, you'll know very early on that if it's meant for you or not, right? But then the same thing is, if you keep on switching sport to sport, if you keep going from basketball to football, then to hockey, and then again to field hockey, and then again to lacrosse, then again to, then you're just being, honestly, you're wasting your time. Your prime year or your prime, kind of, time was spent on switching sports to sport, then guess what? You get nowhere in life. But then if you would have just kind of stuck with it, even if you do like it or not, you wouldn't understand it now. You would understand it once you make it. The problem is people don't understand that, right? You would honestly understand the passion that you have for something only when you actually make it, right? And the people that are able to do that in the beginning and understand that, guess what? I'm going to just do this. Doesn't fucking matter what it takes. And right, the people that win, right? At the end of the day.
Manny, question to you: how do you practice chart? I mean, for a home run, like
So what I do is, man, on demand.
Mhm.
So one thing, I was talking about last week was simply why kind of watch the market the whole day, right? Why do you want to kind of go through the market and watch it the whole day when what you can do is watch the market till 10:30, and then guess what? Turn on demand and then watch. If you already have this much time, then watch the first 30 minutes of the past history. So like go to like, let's say Roku, watch the 6-month history of Roku. Just, keep on watching, each day, 30 minutes, what Roku did 6 months ago, 2 months ago, what it did a year ago, what it did then. Is it doing the same things? Oh shit, it did the same thing what it did today, 2 months ago. So now, that's what, you have 2 experiences, right? You've gotten 2 experiences with the same pattern. All it is, the third time that pattern happens, you're going to nail it big time. Simple. Makes sense?
So you do it for all 6 major, tickers. You
I don't do it
choose
now, man. Honestly, being honest with you, I'm not going to tell you if I don't do something, but I don't do it. The problem is why I don't do it is because I've already had so much experience from
Yeah,
trading.
I mean,
I've been trading for like literally like 6 years, 7 years now. So I don't think I need more practice on it. I think because every day I just keep on getting practice. But for somebody that's new that wants to catch up to me and actually wants to go study 6 years of worth of charts, and I promise you, you'll get there. Right? But the problem is, at the end of the day, it's work, man. Nobody wants to put it in.
no, what I mean to say is that
No, I don't go. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead, and then I'll answer the chat question.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that, you said for Roku, you go, you advise that go for every ticker. Every ticker has a different behavior, right?
Yeah.
So, Apple works in a different way, then Roku works in a different way.
Okay.
So the chart's gonna be different for each ticker, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the problem is you have to still understand how Roku behaves if you're going to trade it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So just watch, read the 2-year history of Roku. And then guess what? Once you're done with that, then move on to Tesla. Then move on to Apple. Or do like in a day, right? Let's say you're free after 10:30. What you do is you watch Roku chart for half an hour, right? From like one day from the past, right? So you pick like a year back. You pick one day, and guess what? You watch 30 minutes of Roku. On the same day, watch 30 minutes of Tesla. Watch same thing on the same day, just a 5-minute, right? All you have to do is open up 3 charts, right? 3 charts, and just Roku, Tesla, Apple. But no, don't do more than 3. Honestly, do like 2 or 3, just to be a little bit more kind of vigilant and kind of understand it. 5-minute or 1 minute, right? Open up if you really want, right? Open up the 1-minute chart here like that, 5-minute here, 5-minute, 1 minute, 5-minute, 1 minute. Watch all 3 of them. Play the 30-minute. Do that 3 times every day. So then guess what? In a year, you would have done that how many times, man? 3 times 300. That's like 900 times. Then you have literally like 3 years of experience about charts that you fucking didn't have before. And in a year, you'd probably be a profitable trader. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Don't go to 2010. Yeah, don't go to 2010. Yeah, don't go to 2010 and have Amazon move $2 up and down. Yeah, go back like a year. Guys, you guys are saying it like you guys are going to do it, bro. The guy that does it, I promise you, he's probably already doing it. The problem is everybody's saying you'll probably never even get that far back. You'll probably learn and understand charts and literally like going back 2 years. If you just study the past 2 years charting for Roku, Tesla, and Amazon or Apple or whatever stock you want, I promise you, you'll actually be a very good trader. But the problem is 2 years worth of charts. That's about 360 days of each chart, right? So actually, times 2, so which is 600 charts, and then actually, learning.
That's a lot of experience. Yes.
Yeah. Other than that, guys, anything else? Or you're trading in 1 minute or 5 minutes in.
So what I see is that you use EMA indicators and you use VWAP indicator on the chart. Other than that, volume is one indicator. Other than that,
I don't look at the volume, honestly. After volume, man. Volume is just for honestly, I don't think volume does anything, man. People that are good with volume, that got good, right, are just good with volume. I think better is the active trader. Just use the volume on there. See the momentum on there is better.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
Arun,
Okay.
I use both, bro. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like pick one, man. If you really want to pick one, just get good at 5-minute chart, so you don't have to look at the 1-minute chart. Honestly, pick one.
What about TTM squeeze? Do you use that as an indicator?
Nah,
Oh, okay.
I don't use any of their indicators, man.
Oh, okay.
It's an indicator. It's indicating what has happened. Same thing as the EMAs. It's indicating what the stock has done in the past. So technically, if the stock is rejecting the EMAs, it gives us a little bit more of edge where, guess what, it tells us that there's going to be more sellers that are going to step in. Where with TDM squeeze, a lot of people that do use it, I know a lot of people, do use it, and it does work out good. All power to you, man. If it works for you, who am I to tell you?
Makes sense.
Yeah, EMA tells a lot of things for sure.
Do you use
Especially
mostly?
Have you ever come across the Wyckoff method or the Wyckoff method?
Nah, bro. What the fuck is that? What is that, bro?
It's so there's different phases. You got phase A, B, C, and D, where the markets and institutions, we know institutions built the market, right? So they didn't build it so people could be financially free. They moved it in
Bro,
certain phases.
you trade forex?
Yeah.
Exactly, I
It's
understand
neat.
that. Forex is a lot of that. I know. Yep.
Yeah. So I was just wondering if you've ever studied that.
I haven't, brother. I haven't. Maybe something I
And
gotta look into.
I'll send you some information, man.
Okay. I appreciate that, man.
I appreciate you, man. I don't
Yeah.
even trade options, dude, but I learn from you. Like, the knowledge you drop, like his psychology that he's talking about, fellas, is so true. That's a fact. Like,
It's like
you're absolutely right. You're dead on the button with that, man. Like, I don't even do options, and I learn from you, dude. Like, I appreciate
Yeah,
you, man. Much love.
we learn a lot from you. I've been watching you from a long time, and every time I come on these seminars and even look at your recordings, there's a lot to learn. I mean, it's
that's why
practice
we
is
do
a
it, right?
key from you. Really appreciate it.
Of course, guys. All right, guys, we're done.
I just want to share something for the group. We were talking about that Lux algo. Something else that I saw on some of the other TikTok guys was something called Flow algo. And that I haven't checked it out yet, but that looked a bit more interesting because that's showing you where the institutional money is going live, like basically which calls or puts the money is going on, and it's highlighting it in a certain way that at least tells you kind of where the big money is flowing, basically.
But bro, the problem is, right, with trading, it really doesn't honestly matter where the long-term, buys are for the, the big money, right? I mean, if it's the weekly options, that makes sense a little bit more. But like, if you really look for like 10 months out, like doesn't matter, right? It's not going to affect the market at all. It's of course going to affect it a little bit.
On the weekly,
like,
yes.
1,000 contracts, of course it's going to affect it. Because if the volume for contracts are literally, 2,000 on the day and somebody comes in and drops 1,000 contracts, and usually, dude, have you ever seen how these big guys that buy options, they buy really out of the money options? Like they buy an insane amount of those options rather than buying the actual, in the money or near the money options.
Yeah, they purely gambling, right? And they know what's
Really,
gonna happen.
no, they're not, bro. They have a strategy, man. Just like I have my strategy, they have their own strategies that works for them. Like some of these strategies, man, are simply based on risk management, right? All it is they risk, because they're buying crazy out of the money. All it is, their risk is very small. Let's say they spend $1,000, right, buying 100 option calls. If that trade works out, right, it's fine. The problem is, all they need is simple as this, right? If they buy 100 contract, they only need that option to go from like 20 cents to $1.20, and they'll make 10 grand. So that's gonna set them up to have another 10 trades, right? of $1,000 buying very, very cheap out of the money at calls, right? So then they can actually fail 10 times and actually so like it's different strategies, man. You know, there's many, many different strategies.
Isn't that what SoftBank did with this past few months? They basically bought out of the money, I heard, and they basically forced the banks to buy the shares at higher prices or something like that. I don't know.
Who did that?
It's in the news.
Yeah,
It's a headline.
yeah, that's basically what drove a lot of the tech companies to go up.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a headline. It's a 5 headline in the news today.
Gotcha. I gotta
Yeah.
watch that, man. Gotta watch that. See, I learned something new today too. You know,
Yeah.
research that and see what that is.
Yeah, I guess because they lost so much money in WeWork, they probably thought this would, save their asses. But, anyways,
Bank from Japan, SoftBank.
yeah,
Okay.
It's on CNBC headline.
yeah,
Of
it's a lot
course,
of Saudi money and that bank so maybe like they're like we have to turn a profit or something.
man. Bro, dude, guys, if you guys really think honestly there's no corruption or anything like that in the stock market, like you guys are crazy. Guys, I mean, honestly, we don't see stuff like that. We see that a lot in third world countries where we're able to see it because guess what? It's highlighted on news and a lot. Bro, there's so much corruption in the US, dude. Like, honestly, like, it's just we don't know about it. But of course, you know, at the end of the day, it is a little bit more, you know, a little bit more stricter. But at the end of the day, guys, the rules are only for people that aren't rich, being honest, right? At the end of the day, dude, Amazon didn't have to pay $0 in taxes, man. What a joke, right? Doesn't matter if they give with jobs to, you know, tell them to fucking take their fucking bullshit company to some other country, right? That's one of those things I don't understand. Why do they not have to pay taxes, right? Same thing as state, right? Like all of the states should kind of work and be like, Amazon's paying taxes or we're not going to let them be here, right? The problem is, right, it's just like the rules are made for people like us, you know, I mean, yeah, right? Like even the middle class people or the people, you know, that don't have the insane amount of money, right? All it is simple. If I was honestly, you know, like if I actually like ran a country, this is how it would be. Like Amazon, you're paying taxes or take your company literally to China or something. I don't care. And we're literally going to ban you from the US. Simple as that. Of course, it's going to hurt the US, but at the same time, it's going to hurt Amazon. And then guess what? The new Amazon that's going to build up, right, with the US economy, because guess what? At the same time, there's a new company every day. And then guess what? It's going to be bigger than Amazon. Simple as that. And all it is, they're probably going to pay taxes now because they learned their lesson. So, you know,
Yeah,
like
every big company has their headquartered in Ireland because they pay 1.5% taxes,
dude, that's what I'm saying.
including Apple.
That's one of those things, right? Like, it's stupid. Weren't Amazon and Apple building their headquarters in like Amazon was supposed to build it in New York, but New York was like, yo, you know, you gotta pay taxes or something, or you gotta pay this much. And then somebody else was like, Boston was like, no, you don't have to pay anything to us. And then guess what? They moved to Boston. Say no more, bro. I'm moving. Bro, I know, right? Like, let's go, man. I got you, bro. Me and you, dude, both. Ireland it is. Let's fucking go. Oh, yeah, Ricky, bro. You know, it's stupid, man. I feel like, you know, it's kind of dumb that we have to pay taxes, bro. I have to pay taxes. And Amazon, that's making literally fucking way, like, literally, it's insane how much more money they're making and they don't have to pay anything at the end of the day.
Yeah, but like, you know, you could definitely like avoid, you know, do some tax avoidances like real estate or something.
Oh, definitely. You can, bro, you can do that. The same thing with, you know, having employees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. That's the same thing as, you know, yeah, big corporation, you know, has millions of employees and it's giving jobs, but all of that stuff, it's fine, 100% understandable. But the problem is the country should be actually asking Amazon to pay money to it. Why? Well, because guess what? This country, like Amazon was made in the US, right? The problem is it's kind of stupid that they're literally paying nothing to the US, basically the country that made it. Right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of dumb, right?
No, yeah, I agree.
Problem is, like,
I mean,
you know, we have
Tesla is a better company. They pay taxes in the U.S.
that's what I'm saying, right? Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Stuff like that, guys. Like, it's not like I hate Amazon or anything like that, bro. I think Jeff Bezos, that guy is amazing, man. I think he's like stupidly like genius of the fact that how he did it. And the problem is, right, there's a law where you're supposed to break up a company if it gets too big. But the problem is with these tech companies, because they're online, there's no rule stating that, because all of these rules were built in the 1950s, which is stupid, right? That aren't updated. Like, how does that make sense? Of course, bro. You have a nice weekend too, Rahul.
Yeah. One last question to you, Manny, is: do you refer to any book or anything for patterns, and
I
strategies?
believe there's some really good ones in the Goodreads, man. If you go to the Goodreads section in the chat, there's actually pretty good ones.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But at the end of the day, man, I'm not hating. I'll keep on doing me, and Jeff Bezos can keep on doing himself, and Amazon can keep making money. It's all good. At the end of the day, if I can, squeeze some money out of Amazon, here and there, I'm happy with it.
Hey, Manny, just wanted to say appreciate your knowledge, man. I just want to drop a quick nugget to everybody that's still here from one of my mentors. And it's just real short and sweet. But he said, no one ever gets energy, you release it. And that just kind of hit home. It's a very badass quote.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
But with that being said, man, much love.